Hello everybody, I'm Wroughtstream and I'm here with another episode of A Dance of Fire and Ice, and I'm just playing more customs, like I usually do, so let's just get right into it with our spinner of the day. Yep, I already did a no checkpoint clear on this. This should be fair enough. Yo, I didn't even know this song was even that popular. Like, I thought this was like some obscure thing, but nah, a lot of people have heard this song before, which is kind of surprising. But hey, I should be able to get through this with ease. Is that it? Like, oh yeah, I forgot, like, the song's a lot more shorter when you speed it up by a significant motion right there. Damn. Yeah, that was not exactly too bad, you know? Got through that speed trail with quite a bit of ease. So we got Gemini, composed by Vantatis, and charted by a name that I cannot pronounce. Let's get started. This is a viewer suggestion, with no particular reason, but I'm sure we'll have a grand time with this one, maybe. Ooh, a lot of mid spins. Nice. All right. Got a little rabbit coming up, so imagine things are going to get a little bit more spicy real soon. Ooh, inverse line still. Alright. Start certainly likes its inverse Trasilos. You gotta be quick on those U-turns there. Yeah, those mid spins were pretty sneaky, actually. Fair enough, though. There's a little bit of transparency to them, so you could still see them a little bit. I did feel like I was going through like the same sections like over and over, and I was like, wait a minute, what the hell am I doing right now? Like, I'm thinking like, wait a minute, did I just like go through like the same song again? Like, because there's just like the same like patterns over and over. Although I think they did make it, I think the future alliterations of some patterns were a little bit tougher, as I think they added in a mid-spin, I think. But yeah, that was a nice solid chart. We have Storm, composed by Atsu Over, and charted by Try Pizza. This is another viewer suggestion with no particular reason, so I'm just gonna play it. Although I have a sneaking suspicion that they are giving me this chart because of the song choice, I think. What the hell is this song? God. I wonder, is this like a popular? I feel like it is, and I've just like missed this. Cause God, like this has like the kind of Vavo having like over 10 million views on YouTube, you know? Nice. Wait, is that, I feel like that's like the exact same amount of tiles in Hello World. I might be wrong on that, but it feels very close to that. Anyway, certainly an interesting song, but I think the charting was pretty good, so I think that's what really matters, right? So we got Be My Way, composed by Pellet and charted by Yule. And here we have another classic Yule experience with a variety of patterns, with some nice decos as well. And that's essentially a viewer suggestion, and that's why they recommended it. So let's just get started. Alright, we're off to a promising start with this song. Let's see how it goes, though. Alright, that too early was a little stupid, but whatever. It's all good though. Alright, yeah, they're mixing all sorts of stuff up together. Alright, I miscounted there, which is a little unfortunate, but that's okay. Oh, nice. Alright, I think we're probably approaching the end real soon, right? Still tossing some more 5 hits at me. Nice. Cool. That was a nice little chart right there. Certainly not disappointed when it comes to quite a bit of variety. There's definitely a couple of mix-up of patterns. Like I saw some like spiky ladders, I saw some extravagant loops, and some 7-hit combos, some triangles as usual, and a lot of, I think I saw like some warped loops as well. So definitely a healthy amount of patterns right here, and that is just very solid chart, and it definitely lends itself well with the decodes to the song in the background, which I do appreciate. Alright, here we go. So this is another viewer suggestion. This is a chart that was recommended to me because it has a cool sliding tile gimmick, which is what is shown right here in the first tutorial, and also a chart that focuses on hexagon and triplet triangle charting. So I figured this would be an interesting thing, and it has a couple of tutorials too, which is going to be real nice. So let's get right through them. MP-1, sliding tile. Nice. Okay, so that's like essentially a U-turn tile, although I imagine that the gimmick probably gets a little bit more complex once they like extend the length of that sliding tile or something like that. MP-2, reversing effect. Oh, I see that snail or rabbit up there, so. Certainly has a bit of a pace to it with that rabbit there. Okay, MP-3, sleigh bell. Where have I seen this pattern? Nice. Alright, cool. MP-4. What the? Okay, so we just add in a couple of hexagons in between these. Nice. Alright, that was fun. Alright, and yep, now it's time to go on to the actual... Was this a strict moment? No, it isn't, actually. So that's surprising. New plan, composed by Zamzing and charted by Common. Let's get right into it. So... yeah, alright. I'm liking what this chart's presented me so far. Kind of like Eden, actually, now that I think about it. At least with like how the patterns are presented. Nice. Alright, let's do this. Sure, we'll probably see more of those sliding tiles later. There you go. Good thing I paid attention to the speech animation there. Ooh, that hexagon's a little rough. Oh, that was like some like weird like inverse stuff going on there. Alright. We're back to business like usual. Which is nice. I guess we're probably gonna go back to the hexagons. I have no idea if that was like if the song like changed its BPM there or if I don't know. It doesn't matter. tell we're almost there since we're playing these two patterns now. Ooh, that was... Okay, that... Ooh, okay, never mind. I thought that was going to be a little bit smooth. I just was a little too premature when I was tapping that hexagon at the end, but hey, that's all good. Nice. Okay, that was a cool chart. I really liked it. Like the gimmick. I wish the sliding time was like a little bit more involved. I thought that was going to be like a more major aspect of the chart, but it was only like used in like one portion. So it feels a little weird to use that gimmick for only like one section when I feel like you could have probably used it in later on in this chart, but that's whatever. It's a little like nitpick just to not fully use the extent of the gimmick. But yeah, this is a really solid chart. I really liked it. It's really nice. Okay, so we have this chart. Doesn't exactly have a name. It doesn't exactly have a composer either. But I can tell you one thing. It is charted by -K. Now, this is weird. This is a viewer suggestion, by the way, and this is like a song that actually, like, I looked at the actual video, and there's just no, like, context behind it all. It is made by a composer named XO0OX, so blank song composed by that name that I just mentioned. This is a viewer suggestion, so let's just get started. I don't even know what to really do with this. Dealing with some nice swing. A lot of scoot steps. Chart is trying to do a lot of sneaky things, I can tell. God damn it. Man, okay, you gotta really count this one. Nice. Okay, wow, that chart... See, I was very silent in a lot of portions of that chart because you have to be counting a lot of triangles. And it also doesn't like give you an indication of how many triangles are left when you start tapping them. You just have to memorize it, which can be really rough for me because it doesn't give you a lot of time to notice how many triangles there actually are on screen. Luckily, I was able to really read that once. That last like triangle section though, I was able to read it because it like also threw in like a hexagon near the end. So once I knew that that was moving, that I knew that I was near the end of all those triangles. But whew, it is a little rough. As you can tell, I got most of my imperfects from earlies because I just wasn't sure when if I should keep tapping or not. But yeah, that was a pretty cool song though. But chart is definitely a little bit tricky with those triangles. M-1 main rhythm. Okay, fair enough. This has a little bit of a pace to it, actually. So anyway, what we have here is Meserin, composed by Wrougtstream and charted by X-Man Infinity, and this is a viewer suggestion coming from the charter, who just wanted me to just check out their chart, so I'm like, alright, fair enough, might as well. So yeah. There you go, finally got it. Ooh, okay, that was a little weird. Was that a hidden twirl? Like, I have no idea. I just assumed to just keep on tapping, though. Nice. Okay, cool. That definitely was a... It's like a odd sense of like fast, but it's still like chill at the same time. I think I mostly just got too late just because it's weird having a U-turn tile when you're on the offbeat, because like I don't know really how to describe. It just feels weird. But once I got used to it, it came together like clockwork at the end. Mostly, I guess, you know, honestly, it's probably just because I've been, like, playing some, like, slower charts, so once you start ramping up the speed, I gotta, like, get myself situated, but you can tell that once I started really getting myself down there, I started actually, you know, to actually get used to it, and this is a, like, simple chart. Oh, man. You know, this is certainly a suggestion of all time when it comes to charts, so I'm going to finally play it. So it is Gaycore, composed by Mr. Simon, and charted by Glacier. So, yeah, this is a viewer suggestion, and really they said that there is no words to describe how great this chart is. So, you already know by the song title, this is gonna be something interesting. Ooh, God. Jesus Christ. What? God. Jesus Christ, this chart. I'm surprised. Dude, I can only imagine how crazy this would have really gotten if like the whole song just went on like this. God damn it. That was a very interesting chart, I will add. Alright, we're back here with the tier list, so let's get started. So, Gemini, composed by Vantatis. I think that this is a advanced chart just because it's a bit slow, but I think it kind of makes up for it with some of the more weirder rhythms in some sections. Also, some things can be a little tricky and hard to react to, especially considering that you have like mid spins that might be a little bit hard to see, and some U-turn tiles that you have to have a bit of a fast reaction to. Although I think you should have enough time since the chart isn't even that fast in the first place, but there is a lot of variety of rhythms. We might catch you off guard if you're not really used to some of these patterns that you find everywhere else. Otherwise, if you played a decent chunk of customs, I think this should be solid enough to really get through. Storm, composed by Atsu Over. I think that this is just easy chart, really. Like, it's not that difficult. It's really slow. A lot of rhythms that keep on repeating over and over, so nothing really that difficult going on here. However, I think it does lend itself a little bit more difficult than 4X, just because I think it is still a little bit fast, and there is some like somewhat complex rhythms in the midst of all of this, so I don't think it's 4X easy, but it still is a pretty simple chart that I think anyone can really get through. Be My Way, composed by Pellet. I think a shining example of what I'd consider an advanced chart. It's just lots of varied rhythms that you have at a steady BPM. It's not really like anything really tricky, but there's just a variety of patterns that you really need to know in order to pass through this. So you have some 5 hits, some warped loops, some extravagant loops on the offbeat. Lots of stuff, lots of just patterns here that if you've played through the main game, you probably should recognize a couple of them, but if you don't play like all the official worlds, you might get tricked up by like some of those like spiky ladders and some other more obscure rhythms. But I think what's really going to make this one tricky is that there's no checkpoints in this one, so make sure that you are really making sure that you know all these patterns before going into this one, since you won't really have that kind of leeway with checkpoints. Risen, composed by Meserin. I think I'm just going to put this as a hard category. I was thinking of like maybe putting it in insane, but then I realized like it's not that fast, and like the rhythm is pretty repetitive, so once you really get it down like once, you should probably be able to get through the whole thing. It's just naturally fast, so you have some U-turns on the offbeat, which might be a little bit confusing, but once you get used to that, it should be simple enough. I think just really the speed is really the only thing that's going to trick you up, because otherwise everything else is fine. New Plan, composed by Zamzing. I think that this is still an advanced chart, although a little bit on the harder side of it advanced, because it does have some double BPM hexagons, which might really throw you off. However, the way I see it, it's like it only happens a couple of portions throughout the chart. It's always just double BPM hexagons, so you never really have to deal with like a true double BPM section, so you're always going to be fine there. You're going to have a couple of more stricter time windows. However, the reason why I didn't really consider it hard is because it doesn't get fast enough to a point where you have to like consider strict timing windows, which are really rough to deal with. But because you're only on normal throughout the whole thing, I think it should be fine. There's definitely some other like gimmicks and stuff. There's a lot of hexagon stuff, so as long as you know how to read hexagons and stuff, get used to those double BPM hexagons, I think this should be fine, but make sure to practice those two mechanics if you are still a little unsure about it, because I don't think there's any checkpoints in this. Gay Core, composed by Mr. Simon. This is a insane difficulty. Lots of stuff going on here. I mean, mostly it's just the final hope, don't get distracted, keep pressing on the beat kind of thing, but instead it's just filled with like memes that block your screen. And also a lot of visual effects here that might be very disorienting. You gotta make sure to be very attentive, because there's a time when the visuals get really crazy. You still have to worry about 3-point turns, so make sure that you like focus on one screen at a time, and if it goes off screen, the screen that you're looking at, then just look at the one that's at the bottom, since that one's gonna remain on screen more time than like just don't like move down one by one, because you're gonna be switching a lot, and that will probably make you a little dizzy, or at least lose track of how the track's going, you know? And once you keep that tip in mind, I think it should be a bit more easier to go through, although this is still just difficult regardless of all those visual effects, since this song is still pretty fast and it's double BPM shenanigans, so make sure you are wary of that. And there you go, that's all the charts that I've played today for this episode of Dance of Fire and Ice. Hopefully you've enjoyed them as much as I have, and hopefully I'll see you another day.